Hey everybody. Welcome to my channel, I Just Read It. Today I have some stories that I hope you enjoy. If you like this channel and the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and click on the notification button. Thanks. I appreciate every one of you. I saw these on subreddit r/that happened. I can't say I agree or disagree with anything posted on that subreddit. Some of the stories you may get some enjoyment out of or a laugh about. Some you might be turned off by or just find them to be boring. Comment on what you liked and what you didn't. Thanks. My uncle was dating this woman for 25 years, and he ended up breaking up with her because she wanted marriage and was moving too fast for him. But ironically enough, his next girlfriend ended up murdering him. There's a lesson here somewhere. Yikes. The lesson is to be careful out there. When you find out your 2-year-old had your phone this morning and took a naked picture of you while you were getting ready, then sent it via Snapchat to multiple people including a fellow agent, a past client, a guy from college, an old coworker. I'm so sorry if you got the picture. Yep. That's what 2-year-olds do. Just left Walmart where a lady with a basket full of TP asked me what kind of dog I had. I said, a service dog. Very rudely she yells, what type of service? I said he is a BLD. What's a BLD? She asked as she is allowing my dog to lick her face. With a straight face I said, he is my butt-licking dog, BLD. I can't find any toilet paper anywhere because of people like you are hoarding the TP, so he licks my ass clean. The cashier lost it and walked away from the register. I doubt if that is true, but it's funny nonetheless. I'll answer in the context of how you are dressed and not what you drive. In 1981, I wanted to buy a Cadillac Eldorado from a certain dealer on Long Island. This was because the dealership was a half block from the Long Island Railroad station and would have been very convenient for service while I was at work in Manhattan. I went into the dealer in my usual Saturday get-up, not dressed for success, and kept being told that a salesman would be with me shortly. After about 20 minutes of looking at cars, no one came to talk with me. The following Monday evening, I went 2 towns away and purchased my blue Eldorado. The next Saturday, I dressed for success and went back to the original dealer asking to speak with the sales manager. When he came up to me, I pulled out the sales order from his competition and told him that his salesman did not think I was dressed well enough to buy a Cadillac. He begged me to reconsider, but I had him look out the window to see my new car and the order his dealership had lost. That shows you should never judge a book by its cover. That happened to me once. I was in my mid-20s and I was looking for a Ford Explorer, which was kind of a hot commodity around that time. I went to the dealership close to me and met with a salesman. He was a real jerk. He started making fun of me for being so young, told me I couldn't afford it, and wouldn't make a deal with me. That was before seeing any evidence of how much I made or my credit rating. It's not like I was buying a Ferrari or something. He reluctantly took me for a test drive, and when we got back to the dealership, he said, "Wait for me at my desk." Then he went outside and started talking with other customers. I got up and started walking out. Another salesman saw that and stopped me. He said he would take care of me. So I talked with this new guy and he ran my credit. After that, he went outside to retrieve the first salesman, who promptly ditched his other customers and ran back inside to take back over the sale. He realized I could afford it. I was a tech person and was paid pretty well. I had no interest in buying a car from him, but since I was there, I decided to give him the runaround. I told him I wanted the top-of-the-line Explorer and asked him to throw all these extra things in at no cost. He ran all the numbers and we agreed on a price. After that, I talked with the finance guy and they did all the paperwork. When it came time to sign, I put the pen down and said, I need to think about it, and left. A few days later, I bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee where the dealership treated me really well. I got a call from the Ford salesman a few days after that, and I told him the good news about my purchase, and then I hung the phone up on him. I don't know if he learned anything from that, but it made me feel good to tell him that he lost a sale. Have your boyfriends been straight? Depends on your definition. I just have to get something I overheard some years ago off my chest. I was at the gym and was doing my workout with headphones on, but my music off. I just wore the headphones so I could work out in peace. On the machines behind me, two guys were talking about a third guy who wasn't there. The first guy was saying that he had the third guy terrorized because he would show up at his place randomly at all hours, and threaten to beat him up unless he submitted, and let him fuck his ass. He went on to describe how dude number 3 had a large ass and hips, and if you positioned yourself just right it looked like you were having anal with a woman. Guy number 2 said, "I thought you were straight," and guy number 1 replied that he is straight and has a girlfriend. Guy number 1 then goes on to invite guy number 2 to come with him that night so they could both fuck guy number 3. Hearing this made my head spin. At that moment, a friend came over to talk to me and the guys shut up when she approached, so that was all I was able to hear of the conversation. Do with this information what you will, ladies. Fuckboys will victimize men too, then bring disease back to you. First of all, it's not right to sexually assault anyone. As for being gay or straight, I'm not sure what to say about that one. Those guys are an exception to anything I've ever seen. The only thing I can say about that is women used to love Liberace, George Michael, Barry Manilow, Rock Hudson, Richard Chamberlain, and more. Those guys all ended up being gay even after relationships with women. With some men, you never know. Hit up a stock girl at Walgreens. Told her I'd give her $10 if she texted me when Blue Streak shows up. She took my number then gave me hers. I looked back confused. She says she digs nerds and collects Transformers. I look back all sad, cause shockingly she's semi-hot and I, well, am not, and tell her I'm married, because I'm not a douchebag. She says, "So?" I laugh. She doesn't. Time to try a different Walgreens. F my life. That's too bad. If you are a huge nerd and find a semi-cute girl that likes nerds, that's gold. Obviously, cheating on your wife is a no-no, but if you're single, you've found a 1 in a million girl. I'll never forget once while dining at the Dillard House, in Dillard, Georgia, the piano player came to the tables to ask for a request. I looked over his menu of tunes and saw only top 40 hits of days past, Barry Manilow, the Bee Gees, et al. I snidely asked if he knew Debussy Arabesque. He glanced at me with furrowed brow and remarked, "That's rich." He went to his seat and began to play in a dining room full of talking guests and loud children enjoying the scenery. After about 2 or 3 chords the whole room fell silent. Suddenly, children stopped everything, looked at the parents, pushed away from their meals, and went to stand beside the piano player. I glanced around the previously boisterous room to see many, all of the diners, looking around, intent in a memory, seemingly remembering a fonder time in their lives. Many couples embraced hands. Teenagers who were engrossed in their phones looked up and listened. Others, like me, moved to tears. It was spectacular. That's a feel-good story if I've ever heard one. There's not much else I can say about that one. I have a small son and I've been demonstrating to him that the mask requirements are BS in subtle ways. Dad, where's your mask? I'm not sick, I don't need one. What if someone says something? Then I will beat them up, son. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. The mask debate is going to be an ongoing issue until this COVID thing passes with a cure and or an effective vaccine. Ha ha ha, that's funny. When I find an animal abuser they definitely get punished. Torched car, baseball bat from behind, get them fired from their job, out them, and get them ostracized from the whole town with flyers everywhere. Tough to buy groceries when you're banned from every store. Sugar in the tank works nice too. Depends on the level of offense. But they do get what they deserve. Or you can go put up flyers saying they're a pedophile and watch them try to convince people they aren't. That one is fun. That is messed up. First off, we have a system of laws and regulations that the police and judicial folks have to uphold. If someone abuses animals, they should go on trial for it. If a person decides to do illegal things to that person as revenge, they should also face charges and probably spend some time in jail. Getting back at a horrible person by being a horrible person yourself does not make things better. Today was a good day. I took my youngest of 3 to soccer practice. I talked to 2 7-year-olds with masks on. I said, "Did you know the World Health Organization says people shouldn't wear masks when they exercise because it makes it hard to breathe?" One of the 7-year-olds looked at me and said, "I hate these things." And then he pulled his mask down and he said, "It is hard to breathe." Then, I looked over at the playground and I noticed for the first time in 8 months, there were kids on the swings and mothers without masks on. I thought, yes. They are catching on. There are far worse ways to die. I saw another mother start to get out of her car. She went to grab her mask hanging from her rearview mirror, but then she paused. She looked around and she saw me looking at her and smiling. I mouthed back to her, "You don't need that." Then she joyfully got out of her car and said, "Thank you." Once again, the mask debate will rage until there is a cure and/or effective vaccine. As a runner, I agree that wearing a mask while exercising is not only difficult but can be very dangerous. Stay healthy, my friends.